Man, I can't wait to see her naked. I wonder if she's a natural blonde. Nothing worse than a blonde with a big black bush.
Sounds like
I want you right now to stop thinking. Stop thinking altogether. It's hard, isn't it? You may be able to do it briefly for a few seconds if you're skilled at meditating. But the reality of our situation is that our thoughts are constantly flowing, being dictated by emotions. Now imagine if the same principle of not being able to stop thinking applied to talking. It's the year 2050, and your cousin who lives on the other side of the country just had a baby boy. She's throwing a party for all of her relatives to meet baby Justin. So you graciously accept the invitation, hop on a plane, and 7 hours later, you're knocking at her front door, baby gift and bottle of wine in hand. You're excited to meet baby Justin. Your head itches a little bit from the incision scar, but other than that, you're feeling pretty great. You walk through the kitchen, open the sliding glass door, walk out onto the back deck, where you're greeted to a crescendo of, "Hey, it's guy," or girl. You're a little nervous. You don't like walking into large groups of unfamiliar people, even if it is your distant family. Apprehensively, you make your way over to your cousin. "I'd like you to meet baby Justin," she says. "Would you like to hold him?" You cautiously agree and very carefully take Justin from her arms. You feel uneasy holding Justin, but also happy. Maybe unease is just coming from the large amount of people who are making noise at the party. And it's at this moment that a thought enters your brain. You visualize yourself punting baby Justin, like a soft yet slightly heavy football, into the trees on the other side of the deck. It happens in a split second, but the absurdity of the visualization certainly has you thinking. It's not something you would ever do, but it certainly raises some questions. I wonder what would happen if I punted baby Justin. There probably exists a parallel universe where I did just that. I'd probably go to jail and spend the rest of my life behind bars for committing such an atrocity. Snapping back to reality, you look around to find that everyone's staring at you in shock. Your cousin hastily takes baby Justin out of your hands. What the hell is wrong with you? You probably should have let your cousin know that you only got your Neuralink implant just last week. You're not yet used to keeping your regular thoughts at bay, let alone intrusive thoughts. Now, maybe this hypothetical seems far-fetched, like a bad episode of Black Mirror. But it very well could be our reality sooner than you think. In case you've been living under a rock, Elon Musk and his team have been developing a device called Neuralink. Neuralink is a brain interface device. It's implanted into your skull and then installed into your brain using precision robotics. Neuralink is currently in its early stages, initially demonstrated as a safe yet reversible device implanted into pigs. Recently, a demonstration occurred where a monkey learned to play Pong using just its brain. The device has been given FDA approval, and Musk and his team are now pursuing human clinical trials, the focus of which will be curing individuals with neurological disorders, and one day, even cure people paralyzed by severe spinal damage.
They're on a treadmill. It's funny concept, really.
It's pretty impressive, huh? You probably don't even know the half of it. The potential of this device is insane. The purpose of Neuralink is to drastically increase the cognitive abilities at which our brains perform, as well as bridging the gap between artificial intelligence, organic matter, and digitizing our thoughts into a mappable data set for each individual's brain. In layman's terms, it'll make you smarter, healthier, mentally healthier, give you the ability to upload and download consciousness into separate bodies. That's immortality. And last but not least, give us the ability to talk to each other without speaking a single word. These are ambitious goals, and I truly think that this is the next step in human advancement. However, like anything that's marketed to be sold, the reality of the product usually gets swept under the rug, which for consumers creates often a somewhat hilarious juxtaposition that never sees the light of day in any kind of advertising. Think all the attractive young people that often populate your average McDonald's commercial compared to the obese 45 to 60-year-olds who are queuing up for a Big Mac while a homeless man shits in an outside garbage can. Hey, that rhymed.
Brittany throws multiple bags of food at the manager. Manager apparently throws a blender at Brittany, and it ricochets off her face, knocking her to the ground.
My point is that I'm predicting a lot of socially awkward situations arriving in the early days of Neuralink. Like I said at the beginning, Humans just won't be able to stop themselves from broadcasting their thoughts to other Neuralink users. I mean, sure, you'll probably need to open up a line of communication with someone in order to experience each other's thoughts, kind of like a Discord call in your brain. But I don't think the device is going to have the level of nuance required to filter out inappropriate or intrusive thoughts. Notice how I use the word experience and not hear. That's because most likely our thoughts won't be broadcast as dialogue. Most likely we'll experience each other's thoughts as they exist in our brains. Feelings and images.
What does it sound like?
It's sort of like a stream of consciousness. It gets weirder when people are mad or upset. And sometimes it's just images.
That's the second time now that I've mentioned intrusive thoughts. And just in case you were wondering what I'm talking about, here's the definition of intrusive thoughts provided by iesohealth.com. Intrusive thoughts are unwanted thoughts that can pop into our heads without warning, at any time. They're often repetitive, with the same kind of thought cropping up again and again. They can be disturbing or even distressing. These types of thoughts often come in the form of images, where a person might imagine driving their car through a crowd of people, harming or killing another person, or imagining a loved one fatally injured or dead. New mothers often think about their baby coming to harm. Equally common are blasphemous thoughts or inappropriate thoughts about sex. Imagine you're an attractive young woman fresh out of college interviewing for your first big job. The interview's being conducted via Neuralink, and you're continually being distracted by your interviewer, who is involuntarily picturing what this interview would be like if it was turned into a casting couch audition. If you know what I mean. What happens when you sit down with your fragile 92-year-old grandmother in her hospital bed, and for a split second, picture what it would look like if a 747 engine crashed through the ceiling, crushing and killing her Donnie Darko style. Get some weird looks from your family members. As a species, we'll need to get used to and adapt to such experiences as they come with new technology. And I think that's going to take some time. I think in the beginning of Neuralink, we're going to see the end of a lot of personal relationships, be it romantic or friendly. All you guys out there who have been fantasizing about banging your friend's wife, you'll probably be exposed. The sheer number of sexual harassment suits are going to skyrocket. Long-term relationships will be ended due to jealousy of your partner's sexual thoughts of another person. Corporate professionalism will be shit out of luck and kicked out the door. Imagine interrupting a Neuralink work meeting with an intrusive thought about Spartan kicking your boss out of the 34th floor window. That ought to go over well. Whoa, everybody come out. Hey, Bill, you got something you want to say to me? We think you're a tough guy? You know what, Bill? I really hope you enjoyed that last open office cha-cha train, because it'll be the last one you ever experience. Pack your shit, get your team building finger painting and macaroni pictures off the cubicle wall, and get the out, Bill. Deborah, tell security Bill has to take the stairs. The clown slide into the ball pit is for winners. Despite all the potential for destroying your social life, I truly believe that the benefits of Neuralink drastically outweigh the cons. Just the intelligence boost alone is worth the trade-off. Think of how much suffering is going to be reduced by using learning algorithms to defeat depression, anxiety, and other mental disorders in real time. Not to mention the ability to download yourself into a new body when the other one just doesn't work anymore. The implications of all these features are going to be world-changing. I'm excited for the future. What's an intrusive thought you recently had? What Neuralink feature excites you the most? Leave me a comment below. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell.